and we will be purchasing him a phone. He does a lot now, especially with the COVID and those type of things. He does a lot with a smartphone, and that is the only thing that he has asked for this year. And we did, we knew how necessary that was, so we did add that in there. But his salary did not increase. His salary did not increase anywhere at this time. And then, of course, the visiting speakers, the national state expenses, those are all tied in. If I would happen to go away somewhere, the church provides a speaker, or if I have a national or state expense, then the church provides for me and my family. You provide the housing and those type of things so that I can be able to go over there. Some of those things are very, very expensive, and if you all didn't provide that, I wouldn't be able to go. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. So, Brother Dennis.
On the line item for Pastor Tim, you see how it's kind of broken down as far as the first line is like a salary per se, what he would per se take home, if you will. Then the lower part of it there includes housing, phone, insurance, mileage, Social Security that we pay part of, so that's what's included in that. And then that number is the total for his package, not those two combined, but the total for his package. Give you a little bit of background the way we do that. When the board meets to discuss and try to plan our budget, we all meet together with a pastor. That's deacons and trustees and pastor together. We have information from our directors that they give to us as far as planned items that they might be wanting to do for the next year and their monies that they have included in that. And we go through all that together, everybody at one setting. Then when it comes down time to discuss the pastor's salary and those things, of course, Pastor Tim steps out. And then we have discussions and things on that, what we would like to propose to him. This year, before we started that, he come to us and he said, I don't want any increase this year. You know, we always want to take care of our pastor, and I think as a church we should. That's what God has told us to do in Scriptures. And he says, I can't feel right taking any increase with all that's went on over the last year plus with the COVID and everything that's been going on, folks losing their job or their incomes decreased. He just didn't feel right getting any increase at all. That stands to me, that stands a lot for a loving pastor that cares about his church, and we appreciate him for doing that. That's all I have at this point on that.
Thank you. Some big ticket items that I wanted to mention and I forgot would be the building maintenance. You say, preacher, that's awful high. That building maintenance includes any kind of, up-to-date maintenance, as well as all of our, help me out here, guys, all of our utility bills, insurances, all of those, and that is quite a bit over the last little bit. So that is why that's so big. The building fund, we tried to take $26,000 out of the regular general fund account and put that over into the building fund account every year, above and beyond what you all give. So that's where you see that building fund. Brother Brent, roughly, how are we setting on our building fund as well as our general treasurer? Okay, so we have somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 in the building fund and 60 in the general fund to give you some sort of idea where we're at. Church, you all have been very faithful, and you can tell that God blesses His faithfulness. Amen. And we want to thank you for that. You all have provided for me over and above what I could ever think or imagine, and I thank you for that. I thank you for caring for me and loving for me. And on just a brief note of what Brother Dennis said, I thank you for that. At this time, I want to open the floor for any discussion concerning our budget only. Are there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we'll call for a vote. All in favor of the budget? All in favor of the budget, please stand to your feet. All in favor of the budget, please stand to your feet. Okay, you all may be seated. Any opposed of the budget, please stand to your feet. Any opposed? Guys, if you're out in the parking lot, let me take a vote. Let me do this once again. If you're for the budget, please sound your horn. All that's for the budget, sound the horn. Anyone out in the parking lot that opposes the budget, please sound your horn. I'm sorry, that's awful awkward, but that's the only way I know how to do it. And I thank you for being out there and being patient with us. Okay, now that the budget is over and all of it's passed, and we thank you for that, I would like to start to look at our trustees. Our trustees do a wonderful job. Our trustees in our church right now are Brother Howard and Brother Andy, and they need some help. Our church is growing. A lot of things is taking place, and we have been praying about this now for several years. And actually, I don't mean to be sneaky about it, but I put Brother John on the building committee just to see how he would do. And I told Brother John that I wouldn't hide after the fact. And maybe if he knew what I was doing, maybe he wouldn't have done that. I'm not sure. But I did tell him when I asked him if he was interested in being a trustee, would you be, I put you on a building committee, or we put you on a building committee just to see, what we wanted to watch you just a little bit. And we knew what kind of man Brother John is. Of course, we know what kind of man Brother Keith is. Brother Keith's been here 25 plus years, Brother Keith. And so we know what these men are, what they stand for. Again, Brother John is nearly 25 plus years in military, and that's where he's at this week. And he's doing one of his drills, and that's important, right, church? And you read this. I'm not going to read over these, but when I looked at these right here, I thought that just pinpoints them guys down to the T. And so I'm very grateful for that. At this time, we'll take a vote on one at a time. We will not take the whole slate. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I've been a part of that, doing that in times past, so I will not do that. So at this time, it has come from a vote that has been elected from this church. And and Brother Harvey would always tell me, if it's coming from a board of this organization or this church, you do not need a second. Just bring it and vote for it. So we're going to bring it and we're going to vote for it. I remember him sitting right there and saying, you don't need a second, preacher, let's get it going. So that's, and I'm very grateful for that. Brother Harvey has helped me a lot. And then Brother Chase teaches parliamentary procedures at the school. So I need a lot of help, and they're always there. So at this time, we want to bring the matter to the floor for voting for John Correll as trustee as Limestone Free Baptist Church. Are there any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing that there's no discussion, now let me explain how we're going to do the vote, and then we'll vote. Guys, I know this is awkward out there, but this is the only way I think right now that we're able to do this. If you're in favor, don't do it yet, but when I say all in favor, if you're in favor of Brother John, sound your horn, and then we'll go from there, okay? All in favor of Brother John, either sound your horn if you're in the parking lot or rise to your feet if you're in the church. Y'all may be seated. Any opposed? Either sound your horn or rise to your feet. Seeing none or hearing none, Brother John is voted on to be a trustee at Limestone Free Baptist Church. Moving on to Brother Keith Tolley. Brother Keith Tolley, again, since it's nominated by a board that's been elected by this church, we'll just go ahead and vote. Are there any comments is what I'm trying to say? Any discussion? I apologize. You can tell I'm not very good at this. Any comments? Seeing none, we'll go straight to the vote. Same guys. Either if you're for, that's not the word I want to use. If you vote in favor of Brother Keith being on the board, please stand to your feet or sound your horn at this time. In favor of Brother Keith being on the board, stand to your feet or sound your horn. Y'all may be seated. Any opposed? Either stand to your feet or sound your horn if you're in the parking lot? Seeing none and hearing none? I was waiting for somebody to do honk honk in here, so that's the reason I said parking lot. There's always one. There's always one. Thank you for allowing us. This concludes our business meeting. May I have a motion to adjourn? So moved. May I have a second? Brother Will, did I see your hand? Oh, I'm like an auctioneer. If you just do this, you bought it. Let's all stand to our feet.